Well, it's Saturday again, and what's nice is Saturday that I don't have to go do yard work because we got caught up with everything in our 5 days. So that was really nice. Of course, we're talking 20, 22, 23 yards a day. So been a little bit drier this week for sure. Kind of helps. There was some sort of a system that pulled all the moisture from the east coast of Florida to the west coast of Florida, so we don't have to deal with as much calm down humidity. So but it was pretty breezy too, which helped, but hot, still hot. July. So we're in Miles. And we worked last week on it. We did the MAF, we swapped the MAF. We put new TPS sensor on there, we cleaned up connections, and it drove decent on our little road trip last week. But we ended up having these, I think there was like 8 codes. 2 of them had to do with mass airflow sensor, 4 of them had to do with O2 sensors, and 1 of them had to do was a P1514 having to do with the TAC module, or thereabouts. I'm still thinking, it ran decent, but on Monday moving it back and forth to get to the backup mowers, it just was running really. It died on Bear twice. I tried to move it back behind the fence and it died. And brief pause, remember we fixed the rear speakers? Well, all those wires I connected together, when you turn off the key, it dings until you open the door. So somewhere I missed something. So let me go turn down Tim Hawkins here. But what we're going to work on today is we're going to put back in the other mass airflow and see if that makes a difference. I put the new O2 sensors in, so I'm not sure why it was showing slow activity on the bank 1 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 2, and then no activity on the rear bank 2 O sensors, lower O sensors, O2 sensors, which makes sense because I only have the 2 O2 sensors. That's like a tongue twister. So anyways, I had bought this new fuse block back during that week where we were having issues with, we couldn't get it started because we played around with the fuse block and basically killed it. And I think the biggest thing on that was that we didn't let the battery drain itself. So I'm going to do that right now while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to pull both battery terminals and these little tools are so nice. 5/16 ratcheting, so helpful. So we're going to go ahead and pull off both battery terminals. Let it drain for about 30 minutes. I'll swap out the mass airflow. And then we're going to work on swapping out that fuse block. I don't know if that's going to help anything. I just want to see if it will help our AC issue, because we're wondering if this relay has an issue with this lower track, because it's, you got your upper plastic, then you got your bonded plastic, and then you have all these tabs, and there's a central, see how there's like a connection right here? There's a central line where everything runs, and you can't really access that. So this is a brand new fuse block for this vehicle. You gotta spec them just right to fit. So we're gonna swap that in. I hope I don't kill it like we did last time. But we're gonna at least rule this out. And I went ahead and bought a map sensor for the back. I'm gonna check the plug on that too. Something's still an issue. Ever since before, we were taking it apart, there's an underlying issue, and I just don't know what it is. Is it the fuse block? I'm not sure. But after this, if it still runs the same, no improvements, it just felt like driving around where, you know, you'd be running along pretty good, then you feel this little, you know, little shudder or a little just a drop in power. Just very, very strange. And we're going to play with it a little bit more, but I'm really leaning towards the computer being the issue. So, guys, talk with a squint, and you see me scowling the whole time. So it's kind of excited to get back to it. I tell you what, it's been a little bit discouraging. You know, just because it's not going my way, it's not fixed, it's not working like I want it to. That sort of garbage. You know, if you're working on cars long enough, you guys know how this, you know, how it works, and you know, I'm just, you know, complaining about reality of working on cars. So hopefully we can get it up and running, because I think it'll be good. It was just so weird. If you watched that last video, as soon as we did the plug the battery back in, we had a new throttle position sensor. The shift seems so nice and smooth, and then we go, you know, we go back. It, you know, battery relearns, and we're back to these harsh shifts. You know, 1, 2. I know part of that has to do with the shift kit, but it's strange. I don't know. Hopefully we can hunt down a few issues, then talk to Tuner Chris, see what he thinks. And I think you know, I've got the wheels. If you look at today's, you know, I put up an Instagram post about the new Tahoes, and yeah, the nice new wheels that I had on it. And I just can't wait to get these on. But I'm not going to spend, you know, $600 on tires, $700 on tires, you know, until it's actually running decent. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get these new wheels onto miles. Look at these. I mean, they're beautiful. And I really want to get them on, but if it's running crappy, then I'm not going to, you know, we're going to get that fixed first and then do the wheels, because these, yeah, they're doing fine. We drove, I don't know, 150, 200 miles, you know, last week after we got done working on it, and they did fine. You know, it's a little, you know, a little noise and a little bit out around, but you know, nothing major. Just got to air up this front. So, but you know, priorities. We're gonna stick this mass airflow back in. But yeah, enough yabbering. Let's work on the mass airflow, and then we'll work on slowly pulling this apart. You know the drill. We got to pull this off, unplug our, you know, connections here. So, and then all of these, I'm going to take a picture. All these have to go back into this. Yeah. All right. New one, old one. So all of our pins match up. So sometimes there can just be inconsistencies within the 3 parts here. I don't know for sure if that's what it is, but we're going to rule it out. This was only, I think, $50, and granted, you know, I am just let me turn him down here. I am just, you could say I'm throwing parts at it, per se. Excuse me. But with the age of the vehicle, it's not a terrible thing, but I wouldn't recommend it either. And part of this is just because of my lack of knowledge of diagnosis. So that's the biggest thing I've learned with this project, is that it's easy to do parts on, parts off. That's really not that hard. What's hard, for me anyways, or what the skill is knowing the diagnostics, how to use the voltmeter and trace the wires, trace the power, measure, you know, what the map sensor's reading. That's the true skill, and that's what I am not skilled at. So, you know, it's quite the learning process, but that's the biggest thing I've learned is, you know, I'm basically just you know, this Lego bricks, but not actual, you know, diagnosing. So, we're going to see if this works, and if we have to be outside helping, we'll do that. I'm going to bring the 2 over here, and we'll see how it goes. So if we do it this way, it should be pretty easy, you know, to slide them around. Of course, I see one issue right here. there's not any pins right there. Huh. Okay, there's not any pins there either. So I don't know if this is just an extra 40 or what. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's just an extra. You run power off the stud somehow. Interesting. Oh, this is an interesting difference there too. Huh. Okay, there's no... Interesting. Huh. See how this has this little piece here that runs over here? Ah, interesting. Huh. You might want to see if we can pull this out. I mean, there's nothing connected there that I know of. Huh. Okay. Let's see, I might have to pull the truck apart and just make sure, because see, we've got our two connections. We've got this one right here, and we've got this one powering. Yeah, I might have to go look at the truck real quick and make sure I'm not missing something, because that might be... It doesn't look like it's powering anything, because if you look, there's one terminal here, one terminal here, but it looks like a little transfer plate where it transfers power. So I'm not sure about that. Let me go look at the truck real quick. Alright, so I got the cover off the trucks, and it'd been kind of, it wasn't really super nicely treated before I got it, per se, by the first owner. I got it from the second owner. Look at all this dirt. Whew. So as you can see, it looks like there is another power transfer here. So I'm not sure, oh, sorry, here. So I'm not sure how that works. See, this is a little bit different shape. So, I don't know, but this one's pretty dirty. It's a dirty one here, so. But basically the same fuse block as you see, a few extra ones. This is a 30, and it shows it's, you know, still a spare. I really do not know what that is for. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and go forwards. Unplug this here. Use this for reference. And hopefully it works. We'll see. We'll see. Questions. But let's see how it does. Pardon me, flag. Yeah, it's just strange. Got the tab there, but no, I don't get that. I don't know if we pull that off and add it, because these two go to that. I'm just kind of concerned once we put that back on there, we're not going to have anything. But I don't know what they're running to. Now see how there's this plate that runs all the way through. And if you don't really want to separate it per se. I mean, it might, but... Well, we're going to try it, see what happens, and go from there. Let me go ahead and spray off the connections. But yeah, it seems like we might have a little bit of an issue there, and I'm not sure, because it's not going to anything. Alright, I'm still not sure about this. It doesn't make any sense where this tracks. Tried looking it up at the book, didn't really see anything obvious, so we're just going to go ahead and give it a try and see what happens. I'm not sure what will happen, but we're going to see what happens. This might be our key right here. Is that whatever that runs, see right there, has terminals to right here. And this one does not. Doesn't have anything in there. Yeah, I mean, it's got one little tab there, but nothing for receiving that. So this might be a no-go. Hey everybody, after looking for answers for a little bit, I found an answer. So, you know, we don't have any connection here, and that might be something you can add. I honestly do not know, but here's our answer. This is actually 2002 Tahoe Suburban hand manual, and it actually is super nice. It gives you center instrument panel fuse block, it gives you instrument panel, and it gives you everything and then what it controls, which is really, really nice. Very helpful. So what this does is just for auxiliary power, and for my vehicle what that is powering would be the load leveling. That's why on the truck it had the trailer wiring. And this might be something you can just add on to, but as long as it's not something engine wise or going to blow or some sort of a fuse, then we should be good. So I'm going to see if there's any corresponding fuses that go with load leveling. But as far as I can tell, we're going to go ahead, put this in, and just rule out. Let's see, this is accessory power 2, brake feed, so that's there. Okay, I have nothing on that one. Let's see if the truck, I'm kind of curious now. The truck might have one on that. Let's see. It might be just one of those things where it's, you know, embedded there so you can add on, you know, a cable to it, but not necessarily, you know, add to the fuse block. Yeah, because we have a wire connected there, and it's our 30 for the stud 2, and then we got this one. So need to get clean too. But anyways, that's very interesting. So we learned something before we plugged the battery back in and potentially blew it up, and that's, you know, that's a new thing we learned today. So we're going to go ahead, and you don't super need the load leveling. I like it. It's really handy, but for our experimental development here, we're going to go ahead and just transfer our fuses and see if this resolves any issues. If it does not resolve issues, then we'll stick this back in at some point so we can have a load level. That's the plan. Alright, we'll let Bear time lapses or whatever. But yeah, if you got a manual or if you need one, that's really a helpful tool. Alright, time lapse. Alrighty, so we got the fuse block in. We got everything wired up below. We got our fuses in match. Nothing there, obviously. We have this tightened down, but you know, as you saw, there's really no need. So I'm going to plug in the battery here, and we will see if if it starts up first of all, or if it blows up. We have a fire. I cease to exist, or we time travel. We could time travel back to the medieval era of knights and jousting, and like the Connecticut Yankee style. All right, shows everything's tight here. All right, now, do you think it will start? Remember what happened last time we did this? I really hope that's not the case this time. We'll see. We will see. That would really be rough. All right, we'll let it sink in there for a minute. Do you think it will start? Theoretically, facts-wise, it should start no problem, because we unplugged both sides, gave it the time, we hooked up everything correctly. So, yeah, theoretically, there should be no issues. Let me go ahead and take this light out, because we're probably going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and crank it up first and then see if it runs decently. I heard this weird little buzz like last time when I started it, but our fuel gauge is working, so let's see what happens. Okay, see, fuel gauge is there, so AC says it's on. I can shut that off. Alright, See what it does? Still need to fix the AVS, but it's not a huge issue at the moment. Well, idle sounds better already, but I think that might be just because that's probably just the math working correctly. I need to reach back there and make sure the map sensor's plugged in correctly as well. But it's so nice not having that crazy, that crazy vibration. Only one little spot up at the top on that header tube, but it's mucho better compared to, you know, if you get it up into a bind, it's vibrating. So, okay, now let's turn the AC on. This is the problem we've been hunting. Let's turn the AC on and see if it works. It turned on. I heard it kick on. Roll the window down. Ah, no, that issue's still there, it sounds like. Yep, okay, that issue is still there. So yeah, see okay, so that did nothing. That did nothing. Our AC issue where it pops on and off like that still exists. So we ruled that out anyways. So I think we're really looking at a computer issue now, unless there's some other vague. Now remember, this is what it's been doing since before we took it apart. And it pops on, pops off. Once you get moving, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So that's very interesting that issue persists. All right. So new fuse block that we pulled everything off of, and we got it all reconnected back. So let us see if it will start back up. Can we do this correctly 2 times in a row? I don't know, but I try. I talked to John, and he had to send his crank out on his engine to get turned and, you know, tweaked and just retuned up for the just balanced, cleaned up, polished, whatever, for his motor. So he hasn't gotten that back. For this week he was number 8 on the list. So no E-Mod races tonight, New Smyrna, for Mr. John. But he was busy getting some other cars set up for Citrus County, so that's a good thing. He's staying busy. Alright, I think I got everything here. Get the blinding light. So, what do you think? Will it work this time? Let it sit for a few minutes. Cleaned up some of the weed eaters, and I had to patch or not patch, but had to put a plug in a tire for the trailer. Oh, it's alive. Got that weird buzz over there. I don't like that. Seems like it's working good. Okay. Yes! We did it 2 times in a row and it worked. Yeah! Alright, so it's back alive, so that's what counts. We will chat with you a little bit later.